Hello, welcome to
Hello.
another episode of Press Start to Begin. It has been
Pokemon.
a hot
Oh.
minute. Pokemon. You know what I was thinking?
It's been
What
a
we
hot
should
minute.
do. It's been a hot
What?
minute. I was
What are we
thinking,
thinking, Jacqueline?
and I didn't say this before the podcast because I forgot, but I think we should just sing a random song next time. When we start, let's just start singing something like the Pokemon
Singing?
theme or something. Yeah, it'd just be funny, wouldn't
I was thinking more One Direction. The way that you flick.
it?
I mean, you can flick your hair though, can't you? Go on,
I
flick
mean,
your hair.
can't
Go
we
on,
like
go
use
on. Do that really like in shampoo adverts where they're just like
Look at this.
they just
Can we just
there
talk?
it is.
But
Did you guys see that?
I
Oh my
mentioned this,
fucking
right?
God.
I mentioned this
Well-
before the podcast, but this is good content, so I'm going to talk about it. Someone called me Pasty Pete Wicks, and I'm a little bit complimented and offended at the same time.
Who is Pete Wicks, Jack?
Pete Wicks is from The Only Way is Essex, and he's got like similar aesthetic. He's got long hair. He's got tattoos. We look marginally similar in that regard.
And you're
But
both
he's-
from Essex.
And he's much more tanned.
Obviously.
And obviously we're both from Essex. Yeah, I don't know. So Pasty Pete Wicks. I think I might just change all my handles from I'm Jack Vincent to Pasty Pete Wicks. So that's what
Why
you can
would
call
you
me
change
now.
all your hands for? I don't get it.
Oh,
Also,
God.
I'm just imagining you going throughout your entire house and just changing every door handle. Why? You know when like they stick like a cat thing on like the edge of a wall or something so that the actual cat gets scared. Just imagining you putting a
Cat thing. Hang on, let's
thingy wicks
rewind
on
a little
every
bit.
door handle.
Hang on, let's go. What?
You're not just like
What are you doing to your cat?
But no. I just imagine you like slapping that on every single handle, and then you just said you're gonna change it. Anyway, we play games. We like to think we're the most friendliest human beings ever. Obviously, to be birthed out of another human being. Today, we'll be talking about.
This is just a fantastic introduction. Like in terms of quality, this is probably the highest quality podcast material I have
It's a
ever
good
seen
job I
in my
didn't spell
life.
quality.
Who needs to? We don't need to spell, mate. Where we are, we've got Pasty
Anyway,
Pete
Jack.
Wicks. Are there any celebrities that you look like pasty versions of? Because we're going to find one. If anyone can find a celebrity that looks like Tan Shaun, share it with us, and we'll make the comparison.
And me.
Tan Shaun.
No, I don't think
Tan
it's gonna
Shaun.
occur, to be honest. I'm already like tanned as hell.
You
so,
well,
nah, ain't happening.
I thought I was
Anyway,
all right.
How are you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. It's cold, isn't it? That's the problem. And it was my birthday this week.
Every English person, cold in it.
It's cold, isn't it? No, because I'm like, I don't like the cold, but I say I like the cold because I like the idea of it. You know, when you're like in my head, I'm like, oh, fire lit. Like you can hear the fire crackling. I've got hot chocolate with like cream and stuff on it. Nice things are happening. And in reality, you just have to defrost your car and turn the heating on for longer. And it's a bit shit, really. So
Yeah.
I don't like it. And it was my birthday, so that was good. Most important day of the year for everybody, obviously.
course, yeah.
My birthday, come on. Pasty Pete Wicks' birthday.
You can finally play Halo without anyone bursting the door and swatting you. Wait, no, that's 16, isn't it? Wait, is Halo a 16? T. Daddy T.
T.
Please. I mean, we have done our research. Yes, Halo is definitely a 16 game. I'm glad you can finally play with us. Halo, very good. Yes.
I don't know. And hello, T is here as well. Hi, T. How are you, T? How are you?
Hello. So the Halo has the rating M for mature.
Interesting, but if
Okay.
you ask me, obviously you want my opinion. That mature has changed over the years. If you thought mature, what kind of what age would you think is like mature, Jack?
I mean, for me, I wasn't
you.
really mature until about 30.
Okay.
But no, like I don't know, because like at 16, like you choose like what you're going to do in college at 16, right? Or like you don't have to go to college; you can do whatever you like. But you choose at 16.
You must go.
But like I don't feel like lamb. Hi, Lamb. For anyone listening to this is great. This is great audio content. But also, Lamb has just walked in. Sean's cat has walked in and just sat literally right in front of the screen.
Anyway, maturity.
That was amazing. The thing is, yeah, I don't think anyone ever is mature, are they? Like, because I still like fart jokes, still funny. Do you know what I mean? When did they were funny when I was like 8, and they're still funny now when I'm older than 8. A different age that isn't 8.
The mature age was probably around. Actually, it probably differs on gender as well, because I think ladies mature before men. But I matured as soon as I popped out of my lovely mom.
You were born like complaining about national insurance rates, weren't you? You came out like, why are stamps so damn expensive these days? Mother?
Mum, why is this happening? No, I was born not breathing, and I have asthma now. So,
oh mate,
Jack, I can't believe
that's a bit more of a depressing turn, isn't it? Bloody hell. We do this thing right for Eli, like because he can't talk, so we talk for him, and I've made him a little like posh waif. So whenever he like cries, I'm just like, Mama, Papa, I'm so sad. Please help me. I hunger, Mama and Papa. So that's the voice Eli's got now. Even though he's probably going to have this accent. Sorry, mate. You're probably going to have a Portsmouth accent. But, you know, we'll see what happens. See what happens. It's fine.
Yes. Recent happenings.
Yeah, we are a gaming podcast too. I don't know. I don't know if people know.
A lot of people on the street calls me a sod, and I don't know what that means. And then I realized World of Warcraft released something called Season of Discovery, and I think that's why people will call me a sod. So
that's what it is.
Myself, Lewis, and Shroony have actually been playing sod. It's a new World of Warcraft game mode. It's basically classic plus. Let's be honest. It is classic with like little twists where all the classes have more abilities called runes. And you apply them to your armor, and you can actually use them. So because you apply it to a piece of armor, you can't actually have 2 specific ones on top of the same one. So like quick draw, and then there's a passive that goes on your chest, so you have to choose either one. So it's really cool that you can have these new little like talent builds in that. So it's in essence, it is a new game because of the customization of it, and it's fantastic, and it's capped at level 25. So you're chilling, no one's in a rush, everyone's happy in that regard. So yeah, we're having a belter of a time.
So Sean, if I wasn't in Grimwood and I was like listening to this and I was like, I really want to play World of Warcraft Season of Discovery, but I've got no one to play with, what do I do?
Oh, you know what, Jack? That is a fucking beautiful question. I think it starts with come, and then ends with unity, and starts with Grimwood. So Grimwood is this beautiful community full of these amazing, really weird people, but we accept weird people because weird is the new normal, and normal is the new weird.
You don't want to be normal.
So
normal is
all
boring.
I'm saying is you should go to discord.gg/Grimwood and join us today on all the adventures that are occurring right now. And there's a lot. I mean, I literally have a big cat in front of me all the time. He's not a prop. He's real, and he's always there for me, like Grimwood is there for you on your down days, which you'll never have a down day because you're in Grimwood. So yeah, join us. And what are you doing right now? Join us.
Yes, you should.
What have you been up to, Jack?
Also, I have been playing Ark Survival Ascended. So for if you know what, if you're like World of Warcraft, that's not my jam, I want to play a different game. Well, good, because guess what? We play lots of different games. One of those other games we play is Ark Survival Ascended. We've got a server. You can find it. Look for Grimwood Gaming. Whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever you play on, just what the hell are you waiting for? Come and play with us already. It's good. I like it. It's really painful though, because you die a lot and you lose everything all the time.
Exactly.
And
I'm a fan of that.
Yeah,
I love dying and losing things.
no, it's great. If you like a bit of achievement and stuff, and you want to earn your shit, because the problem with Ark, right? Ark Survival Evolved has been out fucking ages, and people play with like really high rates and stuff. So you get used to like taming stuff quick. You get everything done in a week. You finish the game. That's not our play style. Like we're taking it right back to what it's meant to be. It's proper survival. It's fucking hard. You need to tame dinosaurs and like you get them to do stuff for you, and it's cool. You get to fly on a pteranodon and ride a T-Rex and stuff, and it's So you have to, and they all have uses. So if you played art before, like I have, you sort of forget how good some of those early dinosaurs are. And now they're useful again. So if you want to play a game that's actually worthwhile on a server that's worthwhile with people that are awesome and bloody sexy, guess what? Come and play with us. There you go. That's me done. That's everything I've got to say. Shall we do some news? Sean, that was my little jingle for news.
Yes, nudes.
Nudes. Let's do some nudes. And then some news.
Sorry, no, news. News. N-E-W-S, not N-U-D-E-S. Yeah, sorry, right. My bad.
Here's some
news.
Shall I go?
What is on the table?
Oh, I'm gonna put you on the table right bloody now, you little snack. But before I do that, here is some news. I mean, so City Skylines. I think we talked about this briefly before Blizzard. Before we did BlizzCon, but so City Skylines 2 have been stupid again. The CEO has said to some fans, this game just might not be for you. I mean, he's not wrong. He's
right, you know.
I mean, the more I'll read this, right, because they're not very good. Like, they need to get someone new who they filter all of their ideas through for PR, because whoever's doing it at the moment is not doing a very good job. So the CEO of City Skylines 2 has said to some fans that the strategy sim might just not be for you. That was in response to like concerns about gameplay, how the game handles real-time simulation and stuff. And it's right on the back of the previous controversy where they said that they didn't feel that anything above 30 frames per second was worthwhile for a simulation game. So they weren't going to bother optimizing their game anymore. And obviously gamers these days there's a reason like monitors have super high refresh rates and graphics cards are like super expensive, because people want things to look pretty and play well, and 30 FPS isn't very well. So, you know, what do you think about that?
It's an interesting one. I feel like we keep getting these occurrences like really commonly. I'm trying to think of the other one where the devs said, is it
Days Gone?
Something
Days Gone. Days
Gone now or something.
Days Gone.
And,
Days Gone.
Like, oh yeah. We're just gonna basically blame the players for it. It's your fault. It's not popular. Yeah. Why is that? Because people are just getting like really desperate and like really what is the word? Greedy, in the sense of like, oh, it's not me, it's you.
Do you know what?
I feel like we've dipped into the good and then like gone back bad.
Yeah, we had Larian.
Like, your own problems and that.
Well, Baldur's Gate 3 came out, right, and developers shit themselves because they were like, oh man, people can make a good game now and not sell all the extras and bells and whistles and stuff. Fuck, we've got to come up with a reason why that's not the norm. And then they tried to say the narrative, like a few developers came out and were like, don't expect other games like this. And obviously they were AAA developers. And it's like, but you're the ones with the teams to make games like this. So you can do this. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Anyway, look, T's already hurrying us along because we've spent 16 minutes. We're a quarter of the way through the podcast, and once again, we haven't made any progress. Okay. Go on, do some more news.
Next, I say, what are we on? I think we're on the 6th news, aren't we?
11th.
Razer, which is a gaming brand, by the way. It's usually green, neon, and snaky. And Gillette, which is a razor brand, which isn't very snaky and greeny. It's like orange, blue, silver. They release a new razor. Razer, the gaming peripheral brand, has released an actual razor in partnership with Gillette. It's an interesting take, but not the first time Razer has stretched out to new products in the periphery of their sector. They've previously teased a toaster and gloves. Gloves I can understand because it's like gloves, you know, like a sleeve. I know there's a sleeve that you can use where it's basically just
like
makes it so there's no drag when you move your mouse around. So it's like perfect for FPS games.
Yeah, that's what it is.
with the glove, it's like really good for wrist action. Hint, hint. Toaster.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen this? Like, I think like if you haven't, Google Razer toaster, as in Razer R-A-Z-E-R,
Yeah.
like Razer toaster, because I'm not joking as well. Like, have a look at it. It does look like a good toaster, but I mean, like, it's
Is it
a
like
toaster,
300
isn't it?
pound?
Yeah, the thing is, like, what do you need a toaster to do beyond like what it does
Toast.
is in the name, right? So anything else on top of that is an unnecessary luxury. Like, you don't need it. Fuck
Yeah.
off. Just get a toaster. Stop being stupid. Don't spend your money on gaming stuff instead. Don't buy a Razer toaster.
Donate it to Grimwood. We'll toast your stuff for you in style.
If you want to buy us, we'll use it. We'll do a stream where we just toast stuff in it if you want. Marshmallows, Pop Tarts, anything that might fuck it up. It'll be funny.
Oh god. But what like I was about to say, what does the razor do? But that's obviously TOS, and we're not going to talk about shaving our balls unless you want to, and I'm down for that. But like, we'll do it off of stream. Why?
That'll be on
like
something else. Kick.
Is it because razor is a razor, but it's not a razor? So and then the razor would be pretty cool because it's like a cross, but it's not. Is that why?
I don't know,
That made
'cause
so
it's-
much sense.
Yeah, I think it's a meme. I think two people in their marketing departments thought of a really funny meme about Razer making a razor and then decided to follow through. Like, imagine if we followed through on every idea we'd had. It'd be fucking chaos, wouldn't it? So that's why we don't. Like, that's why we're not going to
Yeah.
get a Razer toaster and put marshmallows in it. We're not actually going to do that, are we? Because if we did, set the house on fire. And then what?
Yeah, but like we made a meme.
But we've memed it, so we got to do it. Yeah, I think, I don't know, it's a bit dumb. I mean, but I do also, like, if I won the lottery tonight or like came across a windfall of money, I might buy one just because it'd be funny. Like, RGB
then, yeah.
toaster. So maybe I'm the market, idiots with, like, they end up with too much money.
Does the razor have RGB on?
I think so. In my head, it does. In my head, it's fantastic. I've added loads to it now. It's got an LCD.
Surely it's got to, right?
I don't know how much it is, but
Glow in the dark. It'd be neon green, won't it? Yeah.
it'll be like, yeah, it'll be the green
Shaped like a
colours probably.
snake.
All right, more news, because I have a feeling T's going to tell us off.
Hey.
The day before this game, we might have heard of it. It's a zombie survival post-apocalyptic game. The day before is supposedly releasing on December the 7th. So much maligned and highly criticised early access title, The Day Before is due for release 7th of December. Maybe. The game has previously been criticised for using fake gameplay videos, copying trailers, and even copying the logo and theme from The Last of Us. Is this game likely to sell? Probably. Will it be a dumpster fire? Definitely.
Definitely.
I mean,
like, you know that meme. You can copy my homework, but don't make it obvious. This is like that,
Yeah.
but not given permission.
and they did make it obvious. Like, I don't know if you've seen the two trailers, but one was a rip-off of, I think it was Call of Duty Ghosts, where literally shot for shot, it was identical. Like, it was identical, shot for shot. And the colours and everything. Like, you watch it and you're like, oh, come on. And so they did a second one, learning nothing from that. And I can't remember what it was, but they copied something else. And it's like,
Yeah.
fucking hell. And then the game got taken off Steam because this is their quote, so apparently it's legit. They forgot to trademark The Day Before,
Oh.
so someone else did it.
You know that really important thing that you need to do, and you accidentally forget because someone else has done it.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but
Fucking hate it
Grimwood
like
is trademarked, right? And we are not like as big as this game is. Like it was the most wishlisted game on Steam. You'd think at some point during that phase they would have been like, you know what, we're pretty big. Do you think we should trademark this? And they were like, nah, that'll be all right. And do you know what took it? It said a calendar app called The Day Before had the trademark.
Jack,
Fucking
I've
brilliant.
Never thought, damn, I'm pretty big.
Well, I can confirm that you are,
Christ.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on, do some more
Next
news.
And final news. We are so far into the news that we've actually got to Z and now we're on AA.
We've almost got through the introduction to this podcast, and we're only a third of the
Yeah.
way through.
Oh yeah, there's a guest, isn't there?
Apparently,
Anyway,
he's dead now.
Comic-Con.
It's been too long.
I went to Comic-Con in Birmingham at the NEC. I very much enjoyed it. The stalls were booming, everyone was booming, everyone was sweating, it smelled, it hurt, it was lots of walking. But yeah, big positives. But the takeaway from it was I went to Comic-Con probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm comparing to then, and the anime part has exceedingly increased since. Not necessarily a bad thing, but in my eyes, I'm not like a huge anime fan, and that's fine. It is fine, right? It's fine, Jack, right?
I'm not a big anime fan, so
Um,
you know, I'm the right audience for you, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. A lot of cosplayers, probably 95% of the cosplayers are actually anime dressing up. I know that because I don't recognize them. That's basically how I know they're anime because I recognize the rest of them. There was like, Mandalorians, there was the usual sort of volunteers that did the Star Wars, which is awesome. Fucking love Star Wars. There was a Qui-Gon one, and he looked amazing.
I
Got a
saw the
picture with
picture of
him.
that. Yeah, that was
Slept
incredible.
with him.
Yeah, I don't
And they
blame
had
you.
like
I
all
would.
the droids as well.
Did you sleep with them?
And Darth Vader was there as well, which was fantastic. Ahsoka was there as well. Not the real people, but like the cosplayers of them, which they did a very good job. But the majority were anime, and I think I looked more than I usually would at people to be like, I kind of recognize that, but like not. So I hope they didn't think I was being weird because that's what Comic Con is for, right? Um, not wait, no, Comic Con is to express cosplayers. I always nodded at people that I thought, you can tell when someone's put in effort. They've got like it down to the T when down to the T. Where like I saw this guy with like chainsaw hands and then chainsaw like helmet, and then he had literally bare arms, but he had
Mm.
like perfectly blood covered arms.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Lamb. Where it was just like this dude has gone out of his way. He's planned so much, and it looks so good. I'm pretty sure that's an anime. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But
Chainsaw
yeah,
Hands, probably it's called, because anime got weird
surely
names,
it's
haven't they? Do you know what I mean?
surely it's Chainsaw
Well,
Hands.
like
Yeah.
Howl's Moving Castle is literally about a moving castle, isn't it? So I feel like I feel like that anime is just going to be called Chainsaw Hands or something.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Isn't that
But yeah, no, it was really nice.
what?
I spoke to some people, but I went with my family, which is always nice.
Oh yeah, it was quite a heart. I mean, this is like we don't often, and we should do this more often. Quite a heartfelt thing, wasn't it? Because you went with your dad, didn't you? And like that's really
Yes,
nice.
I went with my dad, my little brother, and my big brother, because I live alone, and then they sort of all live on their own as well. It was nice to, group up and join some family activities, which
If I
yeah,
said to
I was
my
very grateful
family,
to.
right, any of them, if I was like, "Do you want to go Comic Con?" Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad would be like, "What is that?"
No,
My mum would be like, "Yeah," but she wouldn't turn up.
yeah.
My brother would also be yeah, but he wouldn't turn up. And my two sisters would probably just go and do their nails instead or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
But
I
I
know
think
it was very good.
I'm gonna go Comic Con next year. I think. Does anyone want to come? If you want to
Oh, in
come
that
with me,
case.
send me a message. Please send me a
Wait,
message.
wait. Come with you to Comic Con or just come with you? Can you please? Can you
Honestly,
please
like little column A, little column B.
little of C where we do both at the same time?
Hell yeah, baby.
I am
All
with
right.
you on that
Right.
one.
Well, we're only nearly halfway through, so it's probably time that we
Fine.
brought on a guest, I think. What do you
Oh my
think,
god, we
Sean?
have a guest.
Shall we do that?
I'm thinking we might need to consult the HR department before we did that because we do need to get the details of the person that is joining us on the guest channel.
We do.
Thank you, Lamb, for all the kisses, but I need to talk. He won't move.
Lab is the ultimate troll.
He's the ultimate
Fuck
cockblock.
him.
I'm trying to woo Jack here.
If
But
you
yes, Jack, we do have a guest.
we do. What have you done? Like from behind, it looks like a squirrel's tail. Like you sort of fluffed him right up. That poor little idiot. He has enough. He's seen enough living with you. Do you need to do this extra
is
torture?
true, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Jesus
Poor lad.
Christ. All the screams and clapping he hears.
All right, let's bring on a guest. Come on, fucking hell. It's about time,
Okay.
isn't it? All right, well, you have
How do we
probably...
summon him, Josh?
How do we summon him? We just simply have
Hey,
to... if we tee up like a perfectly 80s style joke, I guarantee you, somewhere in the world, he will come a running. It is, of course, The man himself, the man with the more Facebook bans than anyone has ever received in the history of Facebook.
Some people call him a gorilla, but we call him HR Matt Wolverine.
Hello,
How are you
Mr.
doing,
Matt.
Matthew? How's it going?
Well, it's quite an introduction, wasn't it? Thank you.
What can I say? I did do something a bit worse, but T was like smacking me, so I deleted it all. And now I'm crying.
I can feel the paperwork building up somewhere on my desk. I'm gonna have to some stamps and some signing and maybe an investigation or two. But yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Just
See, if
another
we had a
day in Grimwood,
professional
really. So,
podcast, we'd have like an animation of like all the letters pop up on screen, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean,
How are you,
if
man?
our producer was doing something, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we would be somewhere, but instead we've got this shambles we call a podcast, cobbled together like a ramshackle little shed, falling apart like a hobo's house made of cardboard. That's what this podcast is. That's what I'm telling you now. And you know what?
Inviting the gorilla
Fine
in
with
to
that.
smash it up.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's all we need.
hello.
That's all we need. How are you, Matt? Are you good? How's life? Are you enjoying this cold weather? Because it's fucking cold, isn't it?
I'm very good. I enjoyed spending 45 minutes this morning in a freezing cold field looking at Christmas trees to chop down.
Okay.
But it kept the wife happy, so we now have a Christmas tree, and we are initially Christmas up for today anyway. But I've got to do all the outside lights tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've got to do that outside that. Like,
I hate doing those.
I've been a bit stitched there.
Yeah, I've been.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very glad to hear that, Matt. I don't know if you know this, but we're about to ask you some questions. I don't know why you'd ever think like, oh, they were going to ask me some questions because, yeah, did we prepare you?
T prompted me and said I wasn't allowed to make any answers that didn't involve yes or no.
So this is going to be a really quick part.
That's fine, because apparently me and Sean are not good at timekeeping anyway. So
you remember that game you used to play at school where it was 20 questions, or it was you couldn't say yes or no. This is the reverse. I'm only allowed to say yes or no.
Alrighty, let's test that theory, Mart.
Yes.
What is the earliest game you can remember playing? I know this is going to hurt and you're probably going back 121 years, but what is the earliest game you can remember playing?
So this is the bit I bought a prop for. So
oh
no.
Hello.
I haven't cleared this with T either. So the earliest game I can actually remember playing is Pong. So if you remember the little console bit with the little jiggly knob in the middle, which the lines went up and bounced the ball across. I remember playing it, but the first gaming console that I owned was called the Mattel Intellivision. So I don't know if Jack, you're a little bit older, you may have heard of it at some point.
I recognise the name, but that's that's all I know.
That was 1983. So I was 6.
I wasn't alive then.
So hold that.
How many are you youngin?
Alive then? I'm.
So I'll sit back a bit.
Oh wow! So I mean, we'll put a picture up somewhere for people that are listening to this. But that is, I can't believe you still got it. That's fucking incredible. What?
Yes, and I've got a box full of games. So I have no idea if it still works. It's on my list of things to do is to plug it back in and reminisce. But you can imagine from 1982. I think it was 1982. It was officially released, but it is tiny little stick people, 6 or 7 pixels moving on the screen, and but do you know what? It's just there in my memory of all time, and the fact that my parents, to be fair, have kept it for the last 40 odd years.
That's awesome.
It's and I think you can actually buy one of those. Like you get the plug-in HDMI tiny little consoles that have got 50 pre-games programmed in. I think we've got. I think you can buy one of those for it now as well. But
fair.
The games. I mean, the games on. I've prepped for this, but you probably won't be able to see them. So my favourite games. I've probably vanished off camera for a second while I grab these.
It's all right.
So,
we do it all the time.
So we've got one called Shark Shark.
Move it across a little bit. Shark. Oh wow, Shark. I mean, I want to play it because.
So it's very arc relevant at the moment, particularly if you're water based. Sean, you'll like this one because this reminds me of you all of a sudden. But this one's called Night Stalker. I'm saying nothing.
Very relevant. That's incredible.
Obviously, you go back to where Dungeons and Dragons in my early days as well, and clearly from the size of me. Burger Time is one of my favourites.
Wow!
But they all came on these tiny little cartridges, so it was cartridge based.
All I'm saying, right, is Colossal Order, developers of City Skylines 2, if these games run better than 30 FPS, you need to sort your shit out. Because I'm just saying right now, Burger Time, 120 FPS, I reckon, easy.
Right,
what a game! What a game! But no, that's being a 6-year-old, it was totally unique to us back then. It was. A lot of the games we had to ship even from them. We had to ship in from the States. We've got a box of like 30 games, and a couple of years later, they actually produced. So bear in mind, there was almost no sound for these games. It was just the odd beep and stuff. They produced a voice module, and only two games that used it, and it would speak to you. You actually had human voices. Well, I say human, but just about. So that's my absolute earliest proper memory of having a games console, playing games, sitting in front of the telly with the family. Well, I say it was mostly me playing it because no one else could beat me even at that time. The older you get, the harder it gets, apparently. She's still saying it. So yeah, the Mattel, if you want to go and Google it, the Mattel Intellivision, and unfortunately they don't go for very much money. I was kind of hoping I was selling 30 or 40 grand, but no, they go for about 100 quid, which is a shame. So,
is there one, because you say, because the games are fucking awesome. I mean, Shark, I want to look it up and play it. It sounds great, but is there one of them? Shark. Is there one in particular that you're like, that's the one. That's the one I remember the earliest.
It was Burger Time. So basically, with Burger Time, imagine a Donkey Kong style level set up in front of you, and there's I think like 3 or 4 burgers on different levels. You have to run across each burger bit to drop it to the bottom, and once you've done all 3 or 4 or 5 bits, you've made a complete burger at the bottom of the screen. But you've got to avoid being chased around by angry pickles and lettuces and tomatoes.
That's fucking amazing.
Sounds so bizarre nowadays.
Burger Time.
That's actually ahead of its time. What the hell?
That was just absolutely one of my favourite games of all time.
I'm really curious because I haven't heard of it, but me and T are similar. T is older than me, but me and T are a similar age. T, have you heard of Burger Time or Intellivision before?
I am 40 days older than you.
Makes all the difference.
And my memory is considerably worse than yours, so no, I don't remember it.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd heard of it. I don't, because it's in my head, but I think I heard of it not from then, like it came out before I was born, but I think I've heard of it more recently, like people talk about it and stuff. But that's really cool though. Burger Time, that's awesome.
That's fantastic. The fact that you've literally been prepared, and you did say about the prop before, and I was scared and excited.
There are other props to come, I'm sure. But,
say nothing.
All right, that's awesome. All right, next question, Matt. Are you ready?
Yes.
Now that was an easy question. All right.
Great. Question 3. It's like that. See, have you guys seen the new Dungeons and Dragons? It's not really new now, but the Dungeons and Dragons film that came out. Sean, get off the podcast to go and watch it. Me and Matt will take it from here. Go on, off you go. Go and watch Dungeons and Dragons.
Jack, we have forgot something because this ties in. Okay, I need to find a friend to go to the cinemas with. What else could I go
this is a very good point.
Jack?
It's a very good point, Jack, because it's been.
What have we missed?
We've done the podcast for a little while now, about half a year, right? If not more than that, I think. I don't even know. But the point is, in all this time, I've set you one task. One task. Find Sean a girlfriend. Sean, have you got a girlfriend?
No.
No, he hasn't.
I have a cat.
Is that Sean's fault? No. Is it society's fault? Maybe. Is it your fault? It is 100% your fault, everyone. Help us out. Get Sean a girlfriend. If you are a girl and you've got no standards, that would be very useful. No, look at him. He's cute. He's got a cat. He's got a mullet. Who wouldn't want to have sex with him? I do. And I might do it after this episode, to be honest with you, because no one else is. So someone's got to come out there.
Great.
There's still 20 minutes of the episode left. You could do it during.
Twice. All right. Now the real question 3. No, wait, we're not even on question 3. We're on 2.
Oh my god, we're on 2. T. Sorry.
T. Oh man, honestly. 2. Question 2. Matt.
I'm tired here.
What is the game that has had the biggest impact on your life?
So I've come up with 2 for this. So for 2 slightly different reasons. So the first one, little bit older or a little bit newer than the Mattel Intellivision, but Sensible Soccer on my Commodore Amiga. So don't know if any of you remember that or any of you played football games, but I remember this one predominantly because it was the first game I ever had on any format where you could have 4 or 5 of your friends in the same room, huddled around your small 14-inch TV, all taking it into playing each other, doing multi games. It was the first sort of, I guess, really multiplayer game to some extent I ever had, and I was just really, really good at it as well. Shock, being football. But going on to the biggest game, or probably the best game, was Lineage 2. So I think Lineage 2. I mean, if any of you remember or have played it, it was an early 2000s Korean grind fest, and not just a Saturday night for Sean that either, but you know it was coming. And I remember, I think I was telling this story to a couple of the guys in Discord the other day, but there was 3 or 4 or 5 of us who we decided to play it. It was our first experience really with proper online MMORPGs. And the guy who was running the guild for us at the time and it was the tiniest little emblem, but it was a Union Jack. And that just dragged in loads of people to the guild. And do you know what? I have still got friends from that original guild 20 years later. In fact, I was playing online Dungeons and Dragons with one of them a couple of nights ago. I went to his wedding a few years ago. He lives 6 hours away in Newcastle. And I think that was just the thing that, when you find a community, and obviously we're now part of the Grimwood community, and guys, if you're not a member, you know where to join. You should do by now. I'm good at that now. But it's just one of those things. It was just, I'd never experienced anything like it, because all my friends came from either you worked with them or you went to school with them. That was pretty much it. I mean, a couple of guys I did play football with at the time, but that was the first ever experience I had of to be fair, even using the internet for gaming. Choose my words carefully there. Using the internet properly. I mean, bearing in mind, this was, I think I'd only just gone from dial-up to fiber, not fiber, but high-speed internet at the time.
ASDL or whatever it was, wasn't it?
And it was a total game changer. But the downside to it is, you do, as we're all well aware, you do lose yourself till midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, sat on Discord or whatever we were using at the time, TeamSpeak, I think it was back in the day, chatting. But yeah, Lineage 2 was the initial game that really changed my whole gaming outlook for everything. And followed on from that, Warcraft followed really as the similar thing. And then, to be fair, Ark, I've got 6,000 hours logged in the original Ark, and that was from various guilds. And again, I've got friends from Australia, all around the world, from playing these online games. So
would you say, if we were going to drill you, and God knows we'd like to, if we were going to drill you on one of those, I think I already know the answer, but which one of the two would you say was the biggest impact out of Sensible Soccer and Lineage 2?
Lineage 2.
Thought you might say that.
Total game changer. Absolute total game changer that was for everything that then came. And I'm sure it wasn't the first online game, but everything that came after it for me goes from that.
I can understand that. Lineage 2 was huge as well, wasn't it? I remember.
Still is, I think.
I played it. We won't talk about Throne of Liberty again, because I feel like we talk about that a lot. But obviously, that is the spiritual successor. It was meant to be the actual successor to Lineage 2, and then it developed to the spiritual successor. Now it's just a mobile game that is coming out on PC. They've made some changes, but honestly, bridges were long burnt, and it doesn't look very good. But which is a real shame, because Lineage 2 was, and as you say, is fucking huge. People love that game. It seems crazy that they would be like, we've got this great IP, let's just smash it into the ground. How can we ruin it? How can we knock it over like a cardboard hobo's home?
And then we just blame the users, right?
Exactly, that's what you do. It's your fault. You made us do this. Yeah, it's crazy. That's awesome though. I like that MMO was your sort of earliest memory, because I think all of my good memories are MMOs. And when we eventually do mine, and we will do it, don't you worry, lovely listeners / watchers.
I want.
Expect a lot of online games. Next question, Sean. You go on. You do this one. You little
We're on
sex machine.
Question
3.
169.
Yes.
What's the worst game you've ever played, and why was it so goddamn trouble?
See, I thought about this before, and when everybody else has been on the podcast,
Yeah.
I've thought about this, and it's
Hard.
I struggle to think of a game that it's just if a game doesn't grab me in the first 30, 40 minutes of playing, I just don't go back to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Probably probably the two more recent ones that come to mind though were Scum. Now I know you guys have played Scum, but I played it early release, and it's the only game I've ever refunded back to Steam. Only game.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only game I've ever refunded back to Steam. I tried playing it with one of my friends, and it wasn't good. It didn't quite work. The mechanics weren't quite there. The graphics were okay. It just never felt like it worked. And you get to that point again within about an hour of it, and when I think it's 2 hours, you've got the refund that came back to Steam, or 2 hours of playtime. It was about an hour in. I was like, do you know what? I'm not enjoying this. Now, obviously, I know some of you guys went back to playing it not that long ago, and I'm sure it changed. And the second game that I'm going to put into a similar category was No Man's Sky. I wanted that to be amazing. I wanted that to be great, and I should have realised, because I'm certain it was Sony who were somewhere in the process of developing it. Clearly pushed out way too early. I played it for quite a few hours before I decided it was awful. But then I did go back to it about a year ago, and do you know what? I really enjoyed it. It still needs some extra content, but I can't think I've ever really had I've never had a game that's pained me. You just stop playing it. To be honest. But it's just Scum sticks in my brain because it's the only one I've ever refunded. To be honest,
I think that's fair. Like we did. So me, Smokey, and Days played. I think it was just us three played Scum. Days and Smokey, you're in the chat. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but and it has a lot of potential if they develop it into what it looks like it's going to be. Because it's very, very gritty survival. For anyone that doesn't know, the premise is like it's a game show. You're a prisoner, and all the prisoners get dumped on this like Hunger Games style map, and you just got to survive. And and there's like zombies, not zombies. They're not called zombies, but they are zombies in it. But when we played it, I would say it felt like it had just started, very rough early access. And I can only imagine what it was actually like when it did come out. Because we had fun, but we had fun because it was just stupid. We were just playing together. Like me and Days riding around into the sunset on a motorbike together was a very romantic moment. But it's a game that we...
Now it's Quetzals.
Yeah, now it's Quetzals. But yeah, I mean, within like a couple of weeks, I think we were like, yeah, we've sort of done everything we can do in this now. There's not really much mod support for it. Smokey has just commented vegan life, and he did live the vegan life of eating just crickets. I don't know if vegans will count that, but that's what makes it even bloody more glorious. Yeah, it's not a bad game, but I do think that needs to work. And same with No Man's Sky. I never played it on release because I saw the state of it and I was like, I ain't gonna bother. But I've probably sunk a couple 100 hours into it. I got it for like 16 quid when it was on sale at some point, and I would say it was worth it. But I love survival games, and I thought it was going to be a space survival game, and it's kind of a space exploration game. And survival is like secondary to that. And the story is very like not very present. There is a story, and it's not a bad one, but it's a bit like bloody convoluted. So yeah, I can agree with that. And also I think I'm the same. Like if I don't like a game, I probably won't play it.
Same here as well, to be honest.
But I think that's why it's a good question, because it makes you think like, well, what have I played where I've just put myself through it for a different reason? Is there a game I've played that was crap? If I'd have played Scum by myself, I wouldn't have lasted the trial time. But I played it with Doom and not Doom, played with Days and Smokey, and it was much more fun. And I think that's true of most games. If there's a multiplayer component, you can make it more interesting than it otherwise is. God knows we lasted in New World for long enough, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's how we met.
That's how we met.
That's
Exactly.
New World is credit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for New World, we wouldn't have met you, Jack.
I think if they shut it down and turn it into just like a dating app for Shaun in particular, maybe they've got something.
New World, but I also made lots of enemies that like mass reported me because we shat on them at the forts.
Like way too frequently, yeah. That's cool though. Yeah, I think so. If you of the two of them, and again, I think I know what you're going to pick. Is there one out of Scum and No Man's Sky that you're sort of like, that's the one that's probably the worst of the two?
Yeah, I think it'd have to be Scub, because even when you guys were playing it, it was just like, do you know what? I didn't want to go back to it. It was just no.
Yeah,
still pretty janky.
Yeah, but it's stupid because again, exactly the sort of game I would like to play, because it's that type of game. But yeah, it just did nothing for me in the slightest.
Interesting.
Yeah, fair. All right, well,
just like, oh, never mind. I can't actually say
God's
that. Jesus.
sake.
I
could literally see, like, the meme of the vain kid. Like, that's what I see every time there's a joke that you want to say, but then the Twitch TOS just like runs across the front of your prefrontal cortex, and you're like, don't say that thing, and the vein
and
appears.
He's in front of HR as well.
And HR here. Yeah, and HR set a very good example. That's all I'm saying. So,
very low standard. Yeah.
Why did we make you HR? Like, do you remember why?
I think I kind of just made myself HR, and no one objected at the time. To be honest,
sounds very likely. To be honest with you,
it's just like, he's got a bit of a temper. We'll just let him do what he wants.
Yeah, he's fine. He's HR now. Matt's HR. We've even made it. If you join Grimwood, and you should, if you're not in us already, get in us. But if you're not in us, get in us now. Twitch, we're talking about our community.
We're just like hop in, guys.
Come on in. There is we have got an emoticon, whatever you want to call it, for HR for Matt. So it's just specifically for Matt, really. So
I'm still waiting for the gorilla one though, Jack.
Oh mate, that's true. Yeah, that'll come someday. TM soon. TM. All right. Since we're not getting through these questions very fast at all.
This is your fault, yeah.
Question 4. I'll take that, but it's also, let's blame someone else. Who's not here? Right, my wife isn't here today, so let's blame her. This is your fault.
A pint.
God's sake. She won't listen to this. It's fine. I can say whatever I like. She won't know. If this is the one she listens to, this isn't Jack. I've been replaced.
What's it called? Pete Wilkes. What's his name?
I'm Pete Wicks. I'm Pete Wicks. I'm Pasty Pete Wicks. Pasty Pete Wicks.
He's going to be the co-host next time.
Yeah. Anyway, question 4. On the other end of the scale, what is the best game you've ever played, and why was it so great?
I don't think we've got enough time left for me to answer this question anymore.
I
mean, when you've been playing games for 40 years, where do you start? There've been so many, but I shall run through a very quick list of them for you. So, one of my favourite games of all time was Dungeon Master on the Amiga. Don't know if anybody played it. Fantastic game. Again, bit of a game changer. It's the first game that actually required the Amiga to have to play it. You had to upgrade the RAM with another 512K.
And that was a lot.
Wow, I mean,
512K. In fact, you got the game with the RAM. I remember it, but it was you like that one. But it was basically you made a party of 4 adventurers, and you would adventure into the dungeon. It was like you would scroll. It was just 3D into the screen, a bit like Wolfenstein type, and you would move and you had spells, and it was a multi-layer dungeon. There's lots of other games after Eye of the Dungeons and Dragons. Eye of the Beholder was one of the bigger ones a bit later on, but it's just a stunningly good game at the time. The next ones which I would consider to be my favourite are most of the Resident Evil games. I mean, I'm a big survival horror fan, love it. I remember Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation, probably 1995.
Yeah.
You weren't even born then, were you, Sean?
No, I'm 1997. I'm just thinking.
Oh, me too. I was 95. What was that? I don't remember that.
But it was, it was just fantastic. I mean, the gameplay was great. The horror aspect was great, but it also had the full motion video scene, certainly at the beginning. Which, I mean, if you go back to look at it now on the PlayStation, it looks horrendous, but as most games would do nearly 30 years later. And then they upped that with Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 3 was good, not as good as Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 4 was amazing, and the Resident Evil, the first 5 Resident Evil. How often do you get a series of games that are generally either better or the equivalent to the ones they've already released? And they were just amazing.
I was just say Fast and Furious, but that one, it's not a game. And two, it sucks.
I'm sure there is a game out there for it. I'm positive there's a game out there for Fast and Furious, but none of us will have played it.
Need for Speed.
and in the interest of the need for speed, Skyrim.
Oh,
okay.
I don't think I'd ever played anything quite like Skyrim at the time. I used to be very much into either football games or I mean, what did I have that on? Xbox. I think I had it on the Xbox 360 at the time.
Quite a jump on,
and I found myself unemployed for a small period of time. It was half price it hadn't been out very long. It was half price in game, and they used to do half price games just for the fun of it. So I bought it, and do you know what? I just sank time into it, and you go to all these. It's the first game I really remember. You climb up a mountain and you look out at the sprawling landscape, and there was hundreds of missions, side quests. You could become a werewolf or a vampire. It's just, you know what? It's just so much to do in that. I think if I had to pick out of all these, Skyrim I'm probably going to pick just for the overall aspect of everything it offered. I mean, for what I probably paid, I don't know, 25 quid for it back then, half price. And the amount of game time I got out of it, fantastic.
You might say Matt likes rimming, and you can't get us Twitch because that is what it's called when you play Skyrim. I've got that on authority, on good authority.
I'm officially a rimmer.
You're officially a rimmer. Rimming is playing Skyrim. So if anyone has a different definition of that, that's not our fault, because that's the only one we're talking about, playing Skyrim, rimming. All right. So don't come at us.
Cream
Twitch.
pie as well, because that's actually a sweet.
Yeah.
It's really sweet, but it's also a sweet.
Anyway.
Bloody delicious.
Matt, put down the pen.
I'm typing up the letter to you now as we speak.
Anyway, it's been a really good last podcast before we get cancelled from Twitch.
Surprisingly, it's not been my fault yet.
This is true, yeah.
Skyrim, that's a good choice.
No, I love Skyrim's just such a good game. And yeah, I'm waiting for the next one if it ever comes out.
Well, apparently fans did go, as you would have heard from the news in the last podcast. It's the fans' fault that they announced it too early. So as is currently a trending thing with game developers,
blame the people who are going to
blame the fans. Yeah, right. Thanks, Todd Howard. Loved Starfield. I did
when it works.
Never even played it.
Matt, I'm going to pretend someone else asked this question, but I'm going to ask you. But it's from me, but it's not from me.
Yeah.
How how you're the age you are. How do you look so damn fucking good? Is it moisturizing? Is it calm?
Stem cells?
How do you do it?
I steal fluid from lamb when you're not looking and smear it on myself.
Oh my god!
That poor cat. He gets wrung out enough by Shaun. He doesn't need someone else doing it. It's like a towel. It's like a wet towel after a shower.
That's why I keep the stubble.
Let's move it on, guys. Let's move it on.
T's popped up.
The fact that
T's alarms.
T cutting in is the equivalent of like a sign being held up saying stop in capitals.
Yeah.
Stop. That's what. That's what
no silence, please.
Anyway, next question.
Question 500. Oh wait, no, you didn't answer the question.
He did.
Oh,
Skyrim.
no, you did.
Yeah, Skyrim.
No, not that question.
Are you in this
Who cares
podcast?
about games, Jack? Fucking hell.
Why do you find me sexually attractive? Was that, Shaun? Was that the question you're waiting for?
Wow. That's exactly what it is.
I think you're just looking for an older guy to hang around with, aren't you, mate?
I think Shaun has been using the wrong dating app, is what we've discovered.
Basically, yeah. I guess I need to just grind more. If you could wipe the memory of any game from your mind, what would it be and why? Question mark.
I think it'd be Skyrim. I think I would love to play that again with the DLC this time, and just experience it again for the first time. I mean, that or probably Fallout 3 or Fallout. I know, Jack, I know you don't like Fallout 4, but I quite enjoyed it. But those sort of games are just there's just so much in there to do. And the experience of getting the cutscenes and finding this, even just finding in Fallout, finding the first power armor suit, or in Skyrim, finding your first demon art. Yeah, those little things. I love those sorts of games. So I would quite happily, if I could find the time and the patience, go through. I mean, I tried playing Skyrim again actually a few years ago and didn't end well, to be fair. But I probably should have paid for it rather than doing a dodgy download. I do officially own it again though, but that's a different story. I haven't got back to playing it. Oh, pingers, I love that message. I'll send you that $5 later, mate. But yeah, so realistically, I would quite happily play Skyrim again. In fact, I do often think about trying to play it again, but the few games I do get to play when I get time is usually Ark sucks up most of my time, and the buggers, they've just released a massive update for Baldur's Gate 3 as well, haven't they, today or yesterday? So
there you go then. Yeah,
lots of content there. Yeah.
I swear we had like a really dry period. Oh, for God's sake, like dry time of gaming, and then now it's just like World of Warcraft. Oh, Baldur's Gate patch, World of Warcraft retail new expansion, everything coming out. So yeah,
That's how it always goes,
now
isn't
we're
it?
on the opposite end. So
like,
we're never happy, are we? Fucking hell.
No, I feel like we always get.
It is the fans' fault, Jack. It is.
Oh no! Oh god! It is.
It is.
I think like the problem is like games like not Wildcard do this a lot, but other developers do it, especially with early access. And I've got no problem with early access, but is that quite often they'll announce a release date like maximum like a month away from when it's going to come out. So you're like, shit, all the plans I had of what I was going to play and do are going to shift now because I really want to play that game that's coming out. Like Ark Survival Ascended, that just came out. They were just like, oh, by the way, it's out. Like tomorrow or something crazy like that. We're like, fucking hell, okay, Jesus Christ. So we just suddenly had to sort it. I mean, we were mid-game Valheim, and obviously a lot of us played Ark a lot. So we were like, well, shit, we've got to play it.
Yeah, you've got to catch up.
Thinking we would have time to finish Valheim, but we didn't. Ark sort of grabbed us, and I think we're like several hundred hours in now. And it's only been out like a month. But
I'm concerned. Every time I wake up in the night crying, I look at Discord and I just see everyone 5 a.m. in the Ark channel.
We got issues, right? We got issues.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, one final question. Auntie, it's 5:59, so we're doing all right time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tell us we're doing well too.
Take a chill. Actually, it's technically not the last question because we've had a question, but continue, Jack.
What?
Your path of life.
Oh yeah, well, the last question in the format, right? Fucking hell.
I do apologize. Oh, it's a format. Oh my god.
Supposedly.
Going well.
Loosely.
It's a loose format. Yeah.
Okay.
What is your experience of being a gamer through the years? And God knows there's been many of them. And how do you feel it has changed?
Experiences, yeah.
How do you feel it's changed as society has changed?
Yeah, so it's quite an interesting question when you think about it. I mean, I think it depends on the types of games you certainly play, particularly if you're in the online environment, because when you're playing things like, I mean, there's games that I don't play, but tends to be like the shooters, Warzone, Call of Duty. Yes, there are some absolute a-holes playing that, and it's very toxic, and you wonder why people leave. But some people, I guess, really enjoy it. It was quite interesting when I actually did some PvP in Warcraft for you, Sean, when you invited me to heal you for a little bit, and I really enjoyed that. But you could still see the fact that it's like, well, this is what the game's about. This is PvP. Yet people were getting really nancy when they were getting killed, and you just think, well, you're here for a PvP battle, but yet you're flaming us and you're being horrible. I mean, New World was a classic example. I mean, oh my
New World
god,
is a fucking perfect example, wasn't it?
wow. I mean, I'm not a big PvP fan. I did it because I enjoy New World because everyone was playing it. Did a bit of PvP review because I wanted to see what it was like, and I quite enjoyed it. But it's like people are just dickheads, to be honest.
They are, yeah. They win or they.
And I can't stomach it because the problem is I as you're all very well aware, I struggle with some willpower and self-control issues, so I want to retaliate, and if I start retaliating, I'm just going to get banned from Steam and lose my account, or something crazy will happen. So I know I have to pull away. But on the reverse side of that, we go back to my lineage comment at the beginning. That was my first experience of online communities. I mean, Warcraft, when I started playing Warcraft when it was first released again, that really, once you found a really good guild to be part of, a community there, you've got a website and you've got voice channels, and actually, do you know what? It's almost like having a family you want to spend time with rather than your real family who you live with. And I think that's the two streams of what you've got, is that you get people who actively enjoy being in the negative zone, the toxic zone, and it can be fun for it can be fun, particularly if you're winding someone else up for a small period of time. But I think most people who are, I'm not going to say adult, but more mature,
Yeah.
you won't stick at it. But when you find a nice community, and again, it's like I mean, when we came to you guys from our previous community, that was a great community, but it sort of broke down a bit. Obviously we've joined Grimwood, and Grimwood's been great. It's been great fun, and the fact that you guys do a lot of stuff, and you're always doing stuff. We're always doing things, and I join intermittently because obviously I've got more family commitments and stuff than maybe a lot of you. But it's like there's never a point when you join a good community where you don't feel welcome, and I mean, I remember this conversation. So obviously, when I came to you guys, I was an officer in the previous guild, and then I vanished. Literally for a lot of personal reasons, but I vanished for a couple of months. And Jack, I probably could find the message, but I remember Jack sent me this really lovely message because you
I think we've
knew a little bit of what was going on, and it was kind of like, you've not been around for a bit. You're not been an officer. And I said, look, mate, I know what you're going to say. Just look, deal with it, because I don't spend enough time. But it was just you would get guild leaders or community leaders who would just be a horrible. You can be really horrible about stuff, and it's people come to here because they want to enjoy their time. I would say it's not specifically Grimwood. Obviously, we are in Grimwood, so we'll talk about it. But I think that would be the two lines I would draw down: is the toxic level, and it's got worse. And I mean, I listen to my kids play in Fortnite and stuff, and even I'm like, well, I can tell who their father is, but it's just like, guys, time to come off, because I listen in sometimes, and it's like you've got 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds giving it all of that, and it's wow, it's pretty bad sometimes.
Scary.
It is pretty bad, but we love Grimwood. It's great.
We
love each other.
Grimwood. Oh yeah.
We love grimming. Everyone loves a grimmer.
Grimming.
Oh no!
Come in for a grim job, and you'll be fine. Look, what's wrong with what I'm saying?
What
because
do you mean by
it's grim.
job? That literally could come. That could come.
It's just a Grimwood. It's just Grimwood.
Come out like so badly.
It's Grimwood. It's not like a TOS. It's Grimwood. It's fine.
Sean loves his Grimwood.
Just like in Comic Con, there's like these mystery boxes. When you order a grim job, you don't know whether it's a really good thing or a really bad thing, because obviously the word grim.
That's the fun part. Like, it could be anything. It's like every flavour beans from Harry Potter.
No.
All right. Well,
that's all the formatted questions out the way. Jack,
we got a question from the absolute bloody sweetheart of Grimwood, Becca B. Sean, you go on. You can read this question out for Matt. Go ahead.
I can read.
I don't know. I hope so.
Mark, if you, Matt, could make a sequel, could squeal. What the hell?
For fuck's sake, Sean! I've given you one job and you've already messed it up.
If you could make a sequel of any of those games that you spoke about, any of them, which would it be?
Oh, wow. I mean, a lot of them have had sequels made, I guess, or even remakes now. That's how old I am.
Modern day sequels.
Yeah, I think the problem is like, as much as I've gone on about the Intellivision and the games and the retro memory of it, you couldn't make sequels of any of those games, because they wouldn't be like the original, and you wouldn't want to make a game like that because it's just too basic for the modern environment.
Hang on, what about Shark? Add an extra shark in there. Sequel.
There's a reiteration. There's an extra shark.
Jack, I'll send you some screenshots. I reckon you could probably knock up a game of it in about 3 hours, maybe your skills. So I don't think it would take you to Unreal 5 engine.
Look out, guys! Shark is coming soon from Grimwood Gaming.
Becca's saying Pong 2's coming. That'll have colour graphics.
Pong 2. I like to think it's just got a third thing at the top just to make it even more confusing. There's just another player. yeah, they can't do anything. You just have a line that represents you watching.
There you go. Shark available on JavaScript nowadays. No, I think if I had to pick a game at the moment, and I know it's coming, it would be Skyrim. You know, a direct sequel to it. Yeah, obviously they've got the whole world of it, but it was just really good. You know, it's one of those big games just has stuck with me for I mean, must be 12 or 13 years ago it was released. So, so I think I would go with that one. I think, yeah.
Nice.
T's called it already.
Here's another question coming direct from my brain. I've got a question for you that's come off the back of this.
No.
Have you ever tried or considered trying Skyrim together? The fan made trend. Have you ever tried Twitch? We're talking about something else. T, help us spin it. No, have you, like, you know, Skyrim Together is this like fan made multiplayer Skyrim mod. So it's not. You can't play like massive. Well, you can in theory, but it's like for co-op Skyrim. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it? Have you tried it?
I've vaguely heard of it, but I've never tried it. No. So if anyone wants to come rimming with me, then I'm up for it.
We are a massive bunch of rimmers. We love rimming. We love grimming, and we're talking about Skyrim and being in Grimwood. So you can't do us for it, Twitch. Come and try. Don't try. Don't do that. Don't take me up on that threat. It's empty.
Come on. Smikey's coming to rim with me. Excellent.
All right. So honestly, and of course, Smike has chimed in now when we start talking about this. Smike, I expect no less from you. You bloody gorgeous man. All right. If you want to live a life that is like Matt's, and who the hell could blame you? Because look at him. He's bloody gorgeous. Here are the things you need to do. First of all, I scrolled up too far. So first of all, right, we have notes here, and T is our producer. He has very few jobs, right? And he's written the game. The earliest game Matt remembers playing is called Burger Something. So he couldn't remember the second word. I remember it was Burger Time. It's called Burger Time. Matt, can you hold up the thing again? There it is. Burger Time. Look at it. Is that a pickle? And why is it so angry?
I told you, it's angry pickles.
Wow.
Works.
So Burger Time.
This is why pickles are the worst.
The pickles are the worst. Agree. Everyone agrees. Great. Perfect. Answer to the question. Burger Time. That was the earliest game you can remember playing. Followed by the game that had the biggest impact on you. If you want to play that, the next game you've got to play is Lineage 2. And then if you want a bit of punishment, you are going to be playing a little bit of Scum. Followed, of course, by none other than Skyrim. And then when you finish playing Skyrim, guess what? You're going to wipe your brain and play it again because you're going to be playing Skyrim twice. So that is Matt's game list. Matt, that is a good little game list you got there.
Thanks, guys.
Think about that. Is it nice? I quite like it. I think I might. You made me want to play. Like I want to look up, especially Shark. I want to look up Burger Time because it all just sounds great.
I'm absolutely certain there are Intellivision emulators all over the internet.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Obviously, we only play with ROMs that we own the original copies of.
Obviously.
Don't we? Obviously.
I think most of them will probably be on abandonware by now, and they're out of their.
To be fair, yeah, I think they probably are. I can't imagine they last. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm definitely intrigued. I feel like in my head, I don't know if I want to look up Shark because I'm worried it won't live up to what I've got in my brain. Because it's fucking great in here, let me tell you.
Maybe just leave it there, you know.
Shall I? I'll just make what I think it is. And then we'll compare it to the actual game.
Oh, God's sake. Well, It's been an absolute pleasure, Matt. Thank you very much.
It has been amazing. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, thank you for doing loads of stuff.
And thank you, T. And you know what? Thanks everyone else in the comment section. You're really pretty.
You're the real stars of this show. Next episode, we're not even going to be here. It's going to be a live stream. You guys can just chat. We'll just sit and we'll just go and give each other Grimjobs.
See, having a heart attack in the background now.
Turn it up, pull the plug. Anyway, it's been emotional, and I'll see everyone in as. Oh, wait, no, that's World of Warcraft. I'll see you guys later.
Yes, we will. We love you. Bye. We love you. Bye. Bye. Love you. Bye. 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 Bye.